Archaeologists have begun a major new excavation.
The southern Italian city famously buried in an eruption from Mount Vesuvius almost 2,000 years ago.
Buried beneath the ashes of time, Pompeii continues to unravel secrets that have been hidden for centuries. Now, the enigmatic Regio Nine, an area previously untouched, is revealing astonishing discoveries that are rewriting history as we know it.
This is a room where two beds were standing.
And you're right, they do seem very small in the wall, but we have to imagine that this is a winter dining room.
From impeccably preserved frescoes that paint a vivid picture of ancient life, to mysterious artifacts that challenge our understanding of Roman culture. These findings are more than just relics. They are windows into a bygone era. Join us as we delve into the depths of this new and shocking discovery at Pompeii that changes everything. The city of Pompeii. Pompeii was founded around 600 BC by the Oscans, an ancient Italian people who settled in the fertile plains of Campania near the Bay of Naples. The city quickly grew, influenced by the Greeks and Etruscans who established colonies and trade networks in the region. Pompeii became a prosperous and cosmopolitan hub with a population of about 20,000 at its peak. The city boasted a complex urban layout filled with temples, theaters, baths, shops, villas, and public buildings. Pompeii wasn't just a bustling trade center, it was also a vibrant cultural hotspot. The streets and homes were adorned with stunning frescoes, intricate mosaics, beautiful sculptures, and lively graffiti, reflecting the rich artistic life of the city. The catastrophic eruption of Mount Vesuvius. Back in 79 AD, the city of Pompeii was enjoying a typical August day. People were busy working, shopping, and hanging out, unaware that their lives were about to change forever. Suddenly, without warning, the nearby Mount Vesuvius erupted. This mountain had been silent for centuries, but now it was unleashing its fury with incredible force. At first, thick smoke and ash shot straight up into the sky, making it darker and darker as a massive black cloud formed over the mountain. This ominous sight was just the beginning. Soon, lightning crackled within the volcanic cloud, and then came the lava and hot rocks, flying through the air and raining down on the city. But the scariest part was yet to come. Superheated ash flows, known as pyroclastic flows, began racing down Vesuvius at terrifying speeds of over 7 kilometers per hour. These deadly flows flattened everything in their path, trees, buildings, and people, within seconds. Imagine the sheer terror the people of Pompeii felt as they watched this catastrophe unfold. For 2 whole days, Mount Vesuvius erupted relentlessly. Most of the residents had no idea how to react. Many fled the city in a frantic panic, while others huddled in buildings or underground, desperately hoping for safety. But the deadly ash kept piling up, deeper and deeper, until the entire city was buried under 4 to 6 meters of volcanic material, ash, rocks, and lava. The people had no chance against such overwhelming force. In just a day or two, Pompeii transformed from a bustling city into a ghost town. It's incredible to think that this catastrophic volcanic eruption both destroyed and preserved Pompeii. All the houses, objects, and even the bodies of the people remained intact, encased in solid ash for hundreds of years. Without Mount Vesuvius erupting back then, we wouldn't have this amazing time capsule into Roman life today. The volcano was a deadly force, but it left us with an extraordinary archaeological gift, offering a unique glimpse into the past. Pompeii's destruction date, not known. The infamous eruption of Mount Vesuvius that obliterated the ancient city of Pompeii has long been recorded as occurring on August 24, 79 AD. This date has been etched into historical records and accepted for centuries. However, new evidence suggests that the catastrophic event might have happened later in the year, possibly in October or even November. A revealing inscription found during the city's renovation work provides a crucial clue to this revised timeline. This game-changing discovery in Pompeii has rewritten history. The inscription, scribbled in charcoal, uses the Roman dating system and marks the date as the 16th day before the calendar of November, which translates to October 17. The significance of this note lies in its temporary nature. It was likely written on a wall being prepped for a fresco renovation. Archaeologists believe this date was recorded in 79 AD because charcoal markings would have faded quickly, making it an exceptionally precise contemporary piece of evidence. Supporting this revised timeline are the well-preserved remnants found within the ruins. Among these are autumn fruits in their prime and substantial protective garments, items that would not typically be used in the region's scorching August climate. These discoveries suggest that the eruption may have indeed struck in mid-October. This new date opens up a Pandora's box of possibilities. Could it be that the eruption occurred later than we have always believed? The layers of ash and history continue to conceal parts of this ancient city's story, but scholars are now delving deeper into the wealth of clues left behind. The rediscovery of Pompeii. For centuries after Mount Vesuvius's catastrophic eruption, Pompeii faded into oblivion, buried under layers of ash and rubble. Its location was forgotten, its tragic end obscured by the passage of time. But the city would not remain hidden forever. In 1594, an architect digging a canal near Naples stumbled upon the first incredible clues, ancient walls peeking out from the earth. This sparked a fervent hunt to unearth the ruins of this once imperial Roman city. Early excavations were chaotic and driven by treasure hunters seeking valuable artifacts to plunder and sell. Priceless frescoes were chipped away and lost forever. It wasn't until 1748 that systematic, careful excavation began. An Austrian engineer named Karl Weber started methodically clearing debris to reveal the city's blocked streets and buildings. Later excavators used early archaeological techniques to dig out homes, shops, and civic buildings. However, excavating Pompeii was hugely challenging due to the sheer volume of material that had to be cleared. Even today, with advanced modern technology, only about 2/3 of this vast city has been uncovered. Discoveries continue to be made to this day. One of the most striking finds was the hollow spaces discovered inside the layers of ash, where human bodies had completely decayed. By carefully pouring plaster into these voids, excavators were able to create precise casts of the victims, capturing their poses and expressions at the moment of death. From gladiators to aristocrats, merchants to slaves, the volcanic ash of Vesuvius granted many citizens of Pompeii a peculiar immortality. As excavations continue, their stories emerge, vividly illustrating daily life in the ancient world. Pompeii's rediscovery has allowed us the extraordinary chance to walk in the footsteps of Romans who lived 2,000 years ago. We can now explore this city as it was during its last days, preserved for centuries until excavators brought it back into the light. The systematic excavation of Pompeii. The first systematic excavations of Pompeii began in the 18th century. Since then, archaeologists have uncovered about 2/3 of the city, revealing a unique snapshot of daily life in an ancient civilization. These excavations have also recovered the bodies of some victims, preserved in the exact positions they died in, thanks to the hardening volcanic ash that covered them. One of the most recent and exciting discoveries at Pompeii is the excavation of Regio Nine, a central area of the city that had not been fully explored before. This new excavation began in 2017 and is focused on Insula 10, which contains 2 large houses, a bakery, a laundry, and several workshops. The site was first investigated in 1888, but the work was interrupted and only partially documented. Now, archaeologists aim to complete the exploration of Insula 10 and study its history, architecture, decoration, and function. As the excavations continue, new details about the lives of Pompeii's inhabitants are being unearthed. The discovery of Regio Nine offers a fresh perspective on how people lived, worked, and interacted in this ancient city. The bakery and ancient pizza fresco of Pompeii. In the back streets of ancient Pompeii, the delicious smell of freshly baked bread floated through the air from brick ovens and busy bakeries. These lively shops were more than just places to get bread. They were the heart of the community, where people met to chat, share news, and enjoy a tasty treat. In one such bakery in Regio Nine, archaeologists made an incredible discovery. They found the remains of an oven and mills, partially preserved by volcanic ash. But the real treasure was next door, a beautifully painted fresco. This artwork showed flatbread topped with fish, fowl, dates, pomegranates, and other delicious foods. This fresco, over 2,000 years old, depicted a feast of flatbreads laid out on a counter for customers to enjoy. The bread had crusty bases covered with toppings that were both familiar and exotic. Pomegranate seeds, fish, and fowl were common in Roman cuisine, but one topping caused quite a stir. It looked like a pineapple, a fruit unknown in ancient Mediterranean times. Some believe it might actually be a pine cone, a symbol of hospitality, while others think it could be a pomegranate or a fragrant citron. Regardless of the true identity of the mysterious topping, the fresco offers a fascinating peek into the dining habits of the average Pompeian. These flatbreads, baked daily in the bakery's ovens, were enjoyed by patrons with a variety of creative toppings, much like modern Neapolitan pizza. This extraordinary painting, preserved in Regio Nine, captures a lively moment in time. Citizens gathered in a bustling bakery, enjoying freshly baked flatbreads with elaborate toppings, all depicted in vibrant colors and intimate detail. We can almost picture the scene: the laughter, the chatter, the mouth-watering smell of baking bread, and the vibrant life of Pompeii, frozen forever by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. This fresco doesn't just show us food, it brings to life the culture and daily activities of ancient Pompeii, making us feel connected to the people who lived and ate there so long ago. Tragic human remains found at Regio Nine's laundry. After discovering the famed fresco, excavations continued at the site, leading to even more fascinating finds. While exploring the ancient neighborhood of Regio Nine, archaeologists stumbled upon a humble laundry, still scattered with the tools of its trade from 2,000 years ago. This laundry was once bustled with activity as clothing was scrubbed, dyed, and dried under the warm Campanian sun. But when Vesuvius erupted, the laundry workers had only moments to seek shelter within its thick walls. Their hiding place tragically became an ashy tomb. One of the most remarkable discoveries was the remains of 3 victims found in a room of the laundry, where clothes were washed and dyed. The victims included a child about 3 or 4 years old and 2 adults, one of whom was wearing a woolen cloak. The child was lying on a wooden bed, while the adults were found on the floor near a staircase leading to the upper floor. Encased and preserved by the hardened ash, the bodies were meticulously analyzed by an anthropological team using CT scans, X-rays, and DNA tests to determine their age, sex, health, and possible relationships. The results revealed that the child was a boy and the 2 adults were also males, aged between 18 and 25 and between 30 and 40. The younger adult showed signs of vertebral compressions, indicating a life of hard labor, while the older adult had a robust physique and traces of a beard. Although the DNA tests showed that the 2 adults were not related, the child's DNA could not be extracted. The presence of the child and the woolen cloak in the laundry suggests they might have been part of a wealthy family who either owned the business or were regular customers. This discovery paints a vivid picture of life and tragedy in Pompeii, highlighting the sudden and devastating impact of the eruption. Another fascinating discovery from the excavation is the recovery of 2 stunning frescoes in the atrium of a house that had an adjoining oven. These frescoes, depicting scenes from Roman and Greek mythology, are of high artistic quality and add a rich layer to our understanding of ancient Pompeii. The first fresco shows Poseidon, the powerful god of the sea, and Amymone, a nymph and one of the daughters of Danaus, the king of Argos. These vibrant images capture moments of myth and legend, bringing to life the stories that once filled this ancient home. In addition to the frescoes, archaeologists found traces of charred furniture, including a wooden chest and a table, which were burned by a fire that broke out during the eruption. This fire was likely caused by the oven, still in use for baking bread when disaster struck. The presence of these items offers a poignant glimpse into the lives abruptly interrupted by Vesuvius. These incredible finds are just a few of the amazing discoveries made at Pompeii's Regio Nine. Each new artifact and artwork uncovered sheds new light on the daily lives, culture, and tragic end of this ancient city and its people. The combination of mythology and everyday life, frozen in time by the eruption, provides a vivid snapshot of a world long gone but not forgotten. Mythological frescoes and other finds in Regio Nine houses. Behind the charming shops and bakeries of Regio Nine, there once stood magnificent homes belonging to the wealthy elite, adorned with lavish mythological frescoes. Now, excavations are underway to free these residences from their rocky tombs, revealing beautifully decorated atriums and luxurious furnishings. In one Roman house, a vivid fresco depicting legends from Greek antiquity has come into the light. One mural shows the sea god Poseidon chasing the nymph Amymone, daughter of King Danaus, with such dynamic expressions and flowing robes that they seem to leap off the wall, frozen at the moment of Vesuvius's eruption. Close by, archaeologists have discovered remnants of wooden furniture, burned and battered by the disaster. Chests, tables, and shelves were toppled and charred under collapsing ceilings and walls, offering glimpses into the domestic life that was abruptly abandoned when the volcano erupted. In another villa, myth-filled frescoes have also survived in vibrant color. These frescoes capture robed Greek divinities in scenes from Homer's epic poems, including a fragmentary painting showing the heroic Odysseus and his ship resisting the deadly song of the sirens. These dazzling fragments of wall art provide mere glimpses into the opulence of Regio Nine's vanished private dwellings. They also offer insights into the literature and legends that inspired the imagination of Pompeii's privileged classes before the city's catastrophic end. As excavations continue, more domestic treasures will resurface, their stories suspended in the moment Vesuvius's ash entombed them. The villas of Regio Nine, lavishly adorned and stocked, will continue to reveal insights into the prosperity and aesthetics of Pompeii's upper crust. The tragic fate of Newborn, the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD, left behind a trail of unimaginable devastation. But few discoveries are as heart-wrenching as the remains of a newborn baby and a pregnant woman found among the ruins of Pompeii. These tragic findings offer a sobering glimpse into the horrific realities faced by the city's most vulnerable inhabitants as they desperately sought refuge from the volcanic onslaught. During meticulous excavations of the ancient city, archaeologists uncovered the remains of a newborn child lying next to the body of a woman. This tragic scene suggests that she had given birth amidst the calamity. In another part of the city, they found the remains of a pregnant woman, her round belly clearly visible in the plaster cast. Studies revealed that she was approximately 36 weeks pregnant and likely preparing for the arrival of her child. Tragically, her baby never had the chance to take its first breath as the eruption claimed both of their lives. The ingenuity of Pompeii's builder. Regio Nine's story doesn't end with its elegant buildings. The most captivating finds are in the unfinished business, a construction site remarkably preserved by the eruption that sealed Pompeii's fate. Recent excavations, especially in Insula 10, have unearthed a treasure trove of information, revealing not just daily life, but also the remarkable ingenuity of Roman engineering. Our journey takes an intriguing turn, shifting from the everyday lives of Pompeii's residents to the secrets behind the city's enduring structures. This discovery is like a home renovation caught mid-swing, with tools abandoned and materials stacked, ready for use. Archaeologists believe it was a renovation project, possibly focusing on a house next to a bakery where slaves and donkeys powered a mill. The atrium of the house was partially open to the sky, with building materials piled near a stairwell leading to the tablinum or reception area. Interestingly, this area was decorated with a mythological painting of Achilles on Cyrus, depicting the famed Greek hero. Roman numerals scrawled in charcoal on nearby walls are likely notes made by the construction workers, adding another layer of detail to the scene. Scholars suggest this building site was in full swing right up until the eruption in 79 AD. Evidence points to a bustling scene with workers toiling away. Among the materials lie clues: jars possibly used for storing and mixing mortar, lead weights for hoisting heavy stones, and iron hose for mixing mortar. These everyday tools paint a vivid picture of the labor involved. Experts believe the lead weights might have been used in a plumb bob configuration, a simple yet ingenious tool for ensuring walls were perfectly vertical. Interestingly, the recent excavation aimed at regulating water flow between excavated and unexcavated parts of Pompeii has revealed even more fascinating details. The insulae and other districts. While we've delved into the wonders of Regio Nine, it's just a tiny part of the vast city of Pompeii. This ancient city was made up of diverse neighborhoods, each with its own character. Let's take a tour through some of Pompeii's other fascinating zones, all frozen in time by the wrath of Vesuvius. We start in the oldest quarter, Regio 1, nestled beside the city wall. This area once housed Pompeii's wealthiest citizens in grand homes adorned with intricate mosaics and frescoes. Moving on to Regio 2, we find the city's great entertainment venues, including theaters, temples, and the impressive amphitheater. Regio 3 featured more modest homes, alongside warehouses and shops selling goods from across the empire. Regio 4 was the heart of Pompeii's government and religion, home to the bustling main forum, the imposing basilica, and the vast Temple of Jupiter. Nearby, Regio 5 boasted elegant houses like the House of the Orchard and the House of the Gladiators, with atriums adorned with lush garden paintings. In Regio 6, there were baths dedicated to health and leisure, while Regio 7 contained more everyday residences and inns for travelers passing through town. Finally, Regio 8 was alive with bakeries, taverns, and workshops, buzzing with constant commercial activity. Finally, Regio 9 revealed buildings that were incredibly rich and elegant, adorned with stunning mosaics, frescoes, and sculptures. Pompeii is a true treasure trove of history, art, and science, showcasing the incredible power and beauty of nature. Each neighborhood offers clues about life in this vibrant Roman city. This ancient city continues to fascinate and inspire us all. While Vesuvius decimated Pompeii in a single day, ongoing excavations gradually reveal its full scope and complexity. The embracing lovers. In the early 20th century, archaeologists made a touching and unforgettable discovery amid the ruins of Pompeii. They found two people, forever locked in a loving embrace, their final moments preserved by the catastrophic eruption. At first, archaeologists thought the remains belonged to a couple or maybe two young women. However, further scientific analysis, including advanced DNA testing, revealed a surprising twist to this tragic tale. The remains actually belonged to two men who were not related. Were they close friends, family members, or perhaps lovers in a society more open to different kinds of human connections? The mystery of their identities and the deep intimacy captured in the plaster cast have fascinated people around the world. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. New incredible discoveries at Pompeii's Unexplored Regio 9 change everything. Among the many tragic tales of Pompeii, the story of its unluckiest man, caught in the eruption of Mount Vesuvius, stands out. For years, it was believed that his frantic attempt to escape was gruesomely cut short by a colossal boulder that smashed his head. However, recent revelations have turned this assumption on its head. Upon closer inspection, scientists made a surprising discovery. The man's skull was entirely intact, contradicting the long-standing belief of a violent death by crushing. Further analysis of his remains, including the upper chest, limbs, skull, and jaw, led researchers to reconsider the circumstances of his death. Rather than being struck down by a massive boulder, the prevailing theory now suggests that the man's demise was more likely due to asphyxiation, triggered by the pyroclastic flow during the volcanic eruption. This flow of hot gas and volcanic matter would have made it impossible to breathe, sealing his fate in a horrifyingly different manner than previously thought. These new insights not only rewrite the story of this unfortunate individual, but also shed light on the broader horrors faced by Pompeii's residents. What do you think about this unluckiest individual? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. The Villa of the Mysteries. Situated just outside the main city of Pompeii, the Villa of the Mysteries stands as one of the ancient world's most remarkably well-preserved estates. This grand villa is renowned for its elaborate frescoes, considered among the finest and most intricately conserved from the Roman era. What truly sets the Villa of the Mysteries apart is its expansive fresco, which adorns an entire room and depicts a sequence of scenes that have long intrigued historians and archaeologists. This vividly detailed artwork is believed to portray the initiation rites of a mysterious cult, possibly dedicated to the god Dionysus, associated with wine and fertility. The fresco presents a compelling array of emotions and actions, ranging from ritual dancing to the dramatic flogging of initiates. These scenes have sparked ongoing debates about the precise purpose and symbolism of the room. with scholars proposing various interpretations. Some suggest the space served as a site for the initiation of women into the Dionysian mysteries, where rituals and knowledge were shared among a privileged few. Others view the scenes as symbolic representations of life stages, from birth to marriage to transformation. The intense emotions and dramatic actions depicted in the fresco continue to captivate and puzzle those who study them. The ghostly legends of Pompeii. As twilight falls on the empty ruins of Pompeii, shadows gather and the last rays of the sun fade away, casting a strange stillness over the abandoned city. Yet, not all is silent. Some say that when night descends, strange phenomena begin to stir in Pompeii's debris-strewn streets. This eerie activity started long ago, shortly after excavations began in the 18th century. Diggers reported hearing mournful moaning echoing from deep beneath the layers of volcanic ash, as if the dead were protesting the disturbance of their resting place. Apparitions have been seen wandering the ruins after dark, ghostly Roman citizens still making their way to some unknowable destination. In the 1920s, an American couple visiting the excavated city had a terrifying encounter. While strolling down the Via Stabiana one evening, the wife suddenly froze and began speaking fluent Latin, crying out warnings of impending doom before collapsing unconscious. When she awoke, she claimed a Roman woman's spirit had possessed her body to communicate messages from the past. Since then, paranormal investigators have flocked to Pompeii, hoping to document evidence of its restless spirits. Photos taken among the ruins often show orbs and vaporous shapes hovering in the air. Recordings sometimes capture voices whispering in lost tongues. In the dead of night, shadows are seen moving against the darkness, only to vanish upon closer inspection. Some believe Pompeii's ghosts remain chained to this place, endlessly reliving their days or final tormented moments. The ash-preserved bodies found in tortured poses seem to echo the agony endured by the thousands who perished on that dreadful day. So much pain and fear have left a mark, staining the fallen stones and walls. Not everyone is convinced, attributing the ghostly tales to imagination or wishful thinking. However, no logical explanation accounts for every incident. Something inexplicable seems to linger within Pompeii's remains, refusing to dissipate even as the centuries pass. The enigma of the plaster casts. One of the most captivating and haunting aspects of the Pompeii tragedy is the plaster casts that preserve the final moments of the victims, offering a chilling yet poignant glimpse into the horrors experienced by the city's doomed inhabitants. These remarkable creations are the result of a fascinating feat of archaeology made possible by the ingenious work of Italian archaeologist Giuseppe Fiorelli. During the early excavations of Pompeii, Fiorelli made an incredible discovery: the presence of voids in the hardened volcanic ash that corresponded to the shapes of human bodies. Recognizing the potential to capture the victims' last poses, Fiorelli pioneered a groundbreaking technique. He carefully poured liquid plaster into these cavities, and as the plaster set, the surrounding ash was delicately removed. This process revealed detailed casts that preserved not just the positions, but also the expressions and clothing of those who perished in the eruption. The realism of these casts is truly astonishing, allowing us to glimpse the raw anguish and desperation of Pompeii's final moments. These haunting relics continue to captivate and move visitors from around the world, providing a tangible and visceral connection to the tragedy that unfolded in Pompeii over 2 millennia ago. The tragic fate of Guard Dog. One of the most poignant and heart-wrenching discoveries in the ruins of Pompeii is the plaster cast of a guard dog tragically tethered to a post, unable to escape the volcanic onslaught that consumed the ancient city. Unearthed on November 20, 1974, this cast depicts the loyal canine companion of a wealthy Pompeian named Marcus Vonius Primus. When Primus sensed danger, he decided to flee, abandoning his faithful dog chained in the atrium, an area designed to collect rainwater. Imagine the dog's desperate plight as it strained against its shackles, frantically seeking escape while relentless ash poured into the atrium, inexorably enveloping the dog in its suffocating grasp. The animal's final moments must have been a harrowing ordeal of sheer panic and agony. Trapped by the chain that bound it to the post, the dog likely struggled desperately to break free, its instincts for survival pitted against the relentless onslaught of the eruption. Tragically, its valiant efforts were in vain, and the loyal canine succumbed to the volcanic ashes. Its final pose, captured in the haunting plaster cast, preserves a heartbreaking scene of loyalty and despair. Which of these incredible discoveries at Pompeii's Regio Nine did you found most shocking? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.